All right, can you all see the slides on the screen?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so welcome to our fourth co-design meeting. My name is Arely Lozano Cantu. I use she, they pronouns, and I am the Senior Program Manager at Urban Health Partnership. Today, we are going to be discussing how we can strengthen our existing blooming solutions and other related collaborations through policy systems and environmental change. So as you know, we have gone through a process of several steps, and we kind of have to go a little bit over some of the things that we discover in the few steps, so that then we can kind of hone in a little bit more. So today we're going to be honing in a little bit more on what you are already doing, and how we can enhance all the stuff that is already happening and sustain it. As you know, we are committed to justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. For that reason, we encourage people to use the pronouns of the preferred pronouns and note them on the titles if you so desire. We also encourage people to participate in the language that you're most comfortable with, and if we need to slow down, translate, or repeat things so that people can have greater understanding, please don't hesitate to raise your hand throughout the meeting and let us know so we can either repeat, rephrase, translate. There's people here that speak Spanish, and some people maybe also speak Creole, so we can make it happen. And also, we want to acknowledge that we are in land that was taken and colonized, and part of the Seminole, Tequesta, and Taino indigenous peoples, and we want to also pay respects to that history of colonialism, and that still remains today. We already did the poll, and since we again are trying to help people that most of the people on this call have been in the meetings already today. I think I only see maybe 2 or 3 names that seem new. But for the sake of ice breaking and for the sake of fun, we are going to play our little now introduction Kahoot game. So I will be, can you see the Kahoot screen now?
Yes.
Oh wait, I think I chose the wrong one. That's codesign 3. I need codesign 4. So let me there you go, that's the one. Okay, yeah, that's the one. All right, so you can see the Kahoot screen now. We will be putting it up. You're gonna see the website or the app. If you were able to download the app, you should already be able to join. If you did not download the app, you can also join by going on to www.kahoot, KAHOOT.IT, and use the pin 7304981. We'll give it a couple minutes for people to join if you are able to. Thank you.
What are you doing? Eating candy. Don't eat no
Don't
more.
worry, those of you that may not be able to join or don't have a handy something handy to join, you can still participate verbally. But we obviously won't be able to keep your score because the score is kept by the program. So anybody else, will give it 30 more seconds for people to join. Well, actually, I'll give it a little bit more because it takes a minute to get to the website and stuff.
Pick them clothes up off that floor.
Ooh, let me see. Let me see that screen.
I'm doing I'm on a meet.
If
I mean, pass it.
No.
730.
let us know, please. 730-4981. Going to be the pin. Anybody else would like to join that's having any troubles? You can raise your hand or unmute.
Not yet.
Tell them yes. I'm gonna join.
You can't join this now. Get up. Get up. Like the meeting, the Kahoot they doing it. It's in a meeting. Go sit down. If they're doing it in a meeting.
But he
No,
knows,
you could do the code.
he knows Kahoot. Sounds like they know Kahoot. Yeah, because this is actually something that we use in schools, academics, universities, and different things too. It's fun. All right, so I'm gonna get us started. If anybody else wanted to join but is not able to, please raise your hand and we can help. But I'm gonna get started. Thank you to all of you that are participating, and let's go. All right, our first question is, what does SBCHH stand for? Select the right answer, please.
You can't play it, girl. You gotta log into the Kahoot.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna log in. Go over there, sit down, pick up your phone.
Perfect. And then we're gonna
What
go
is this one?
next.
It better not be YouTube, and it better not be nothing I got to pay for. Okay.
All right, we're gonna go to the next one. True or false? This project is funded by the Community Foundation of Broward. True or false? Okay, come on. People that are participating, go ahead. Wonderful, everybody got this one right. I'm glad everybody knows our funders. All right, Tony's at the lead. All right, next question. Who is the coordinating agency for this project? All right, anybody else? Last few seconds. All right, and just as a reminder for anybody else, the coordinating agency is Urban Health Partnerships. All right, somebody's on fire over here with the highest answers. Right, we're gonna go next, but we're gonna take a poll. Which statement best fits within the mission goal of South Broward Community Health?
No, I'm quite sure you could have left it, at least left it too.
Goes more in line with the vision and mission of the South Broward Community Health.
What kind of family y'all?
One is to see the first one, the co-create cahoots.
Okay. So co-create and support sustainable and just solutions to health and food access. I like that. Perfect. That was the favorite. Food access for all is very related as well. All right, and now true or false? The desired outcomes for South Broward Community Health Hub are healthy food access towards food security and justice, access to health services, resource opportunities, coordinated community and resources connections, and economic.
Listen, I'm done. I'll be right back.
True.
True. True or false? Everybody got it right. Those are the main objectives. All right, fine. Next, select an expert partner who more closely supports the implementation of this project. So out of all of the partners, there are several partners that help with more expertise, and there are some that are listed here. So you can select. No, there's no wrong answers. So just select the one that you think goes best with your perspective.
Everyone.
I love it. I love it. And it is true. Everybody is an expert that is providing a lot of information and support and expertise. So now the next one, please select one of the goals of the project that is most important to you or your organization. So based on your work and your efforts in the community, which of these is the one that most reflects or aligns with your own goals? And thank you all for participating. So collective impact and the focus on community-driven leadership. Wonderful. This is great because these are two things that we are going to be talking about today. So that's really exciting. Next, Paul, please select one South Broward Community Health Hub action group that you or your organization's work most relate to. So as you see, we have been working around faith-based and charitable distribution, nutrition and health services and systems, land, retail, waste management, renewal, and urban agriculture, and all of the above if you are part of the entire food system. But if you have particularities, select the ones that are best for you. Wonderful. So we have a nice distribution and a lot of people in the urban agriculture. Next poll, which one of the emerging community health action zones, so now thinking spatially, which one of these action zones is most related to your work or closer to the areas of your work? We have focus areas we have a focus area in Dania Beach, Miramar and West Park, Hollywood and Seminole Land, and then Hallandale Beach. So as you'll see in the Southeast Broward region, we have all of the four corners kind of covered. Which one is most related to your work? Okay, perfect. So we don't have anybody from Miramar or West Park today. Interesting. All right. So now we're gonna please select your organization's connection to the project. Are you a mini grant leader or applicant and recipient? Are you a participant, stakeholder, community member, a project partner or collaborator, or one of the coordinating partners that provides support or a fund? Please select the one that applies to you. Thank you. Oh, and also I forgot to say, if you want to answer on the chat, you can too. I hope people are, if you are. All right, we are almost done. Last one. How satisfied are you with your involvement and participation through this collaboration so far? And again, on this.
I don't have time.
All right.
Bishop Scott or Al needs to be on the meetings.
All right, answers. All right, perfect. Well, once again, thank you so much. And let's look at our winners. On third place, we have Nat. In second place, we have Tim. And first place, we have Tony. Good job, everybody. Really good. Okay, I'm gonna keep tally of who's been winning, and maybe at the end we'll have a final winner at the end of all of these. But thank you again for participating. I'm going to close it out. Well played. And I'm gonna go back to the presentation. Thanks again for participating in this Kahoot game. And thank you to all of our partners and everybody that is involved in this wonderful collaboration called the South Broward Community Health Hub. As you notice, we continue to grow in all of our partnerships. And as always, don't forget to complete your partner form. If you haven't done so yet, I'm gonna put the link on the chat. Where's the chat? Oh, here. And everyone. All right, so that should get you to the partner database form. If you haven't filled it out, you can, and that we ask you to share your logo so we can add you to this beautiful slide. And as you all already put in the Kahoot, the goals and outcome and vision and mission of the South Broward Community Health Hub is to engage in partners and diverse stakeholders and community members to co-create and support sustainable, equitable, historically rooted, and just solutions to help improve and build sovereign and culturally appropriate local health services and food connections for residents who are most vulnerable. And as you can see, this has been something that we have been working on together, the same way as we have been forming these groups that are focusing on the charitable distribution, connection to faith-based leaders, the land, retail, and waste management, and the nutrition and health services. Today, we want to learn about our partners and everything that you have going on. We also want to learn about the blooming solutions that are part of this project that help us support and improve healthy food and health access. And then also towards the end, we will also work together through breakouts on defining some goals and actionable policy systems and environmental change solutions that will help. Here, I also wanted to remind you of our other link that is event submission form that we use to populate our e-blast. So as you have noticed probably on our email blast, we usually add information about upcoming activities, projects, opportunities, employment, grants, and different opportunities through the event form. So people and different partners submit an event form, and then we pull from there to create those little messages at the end. So if you have anything that you want to share with the network, please don't hesitate to fill out one of these event forms so that we can then populate the information into the upcoming newsletter or e-blast. I already shared the partner database form, but right now, today, we're gonna start a little bit differently. And to do introductions, we would like everybody to unmute yourself one by one and then say your name, organization, and then share with us any highlights from your organization or your work that are pertinent to the work that we're doing here in South Broward, and or any updates on upcoming events or events that just happened. We want to really hear, we have a minute really per person to share a little bit more about the organization. We want to hear, and again, you can always submit an event form if you wanted to get us to also broadcast that message wider than this meeting. So please, somebody, if anybody would like to get started and volunteer, and then you can popcorn it to somebody else you know on this call.
I'll go first. I'm Elizabeth Nasser, and I am the Director of Academic Business Development for Utica College. We have, our main campus is in Utica, New York, where we have about 5,000 students, but we have 3 satellite campuses, one in Liverpool, New York, another one in St. Petersburg, Florida, and a third one in Miramar, Florida. And we've been in Miramar since 2017, and we are really focused on a project that we're running with our nursing school called A Healthier Miramar, and it extends to other parts of Florida. But the notion of that is that we're really focused on preventative healthcare and wellness activities, including food insecurities and healthcare insecurities. So the work that everyone's doing here is super important to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. You want to send it to somebody else?
Send it over to Tim Curtin, who's somebody I know on the call.
Tim, you're on mute.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. My name is Tim Curtin. I'm the Executive Director of Community Services with Memorial Healthcare System. And we are the South Broward Hospital District. So this kind of, this whole initiative fits very nicely in South Broward, because that's, you know, that's the residents that we serve in our 6 hospitals and 10 primary care centers, nursing home and senior centers, and really from the rocking chair. I mean, from the cradle all the way to the rocking chair, we have services and programs and initiatives out in the community. So this fits very nicely because it's across all those spans. It's not limited to one demographic or one age category, or you know, this fits across, you know, many families, households, municipalities. So we're excited about this project, and I'm happy to see everybody on this Zoom today. I know most of you, and those I don't know, I'm sure I'll get to know you over the next couple of months and years. And I'll pass this over to my friend, Mr. FISP, Joel Smith. Joel?
It's morning still. Good morning still. Thanks, Tim. Great to see you. Great to see everybody. Joel Smith, the Florida Initiative for Suicide Prevention. We address the arc of death by suicide, which has 3 components: prevention, intervention, and postvention. And my particular interest is wellness, is helping people not devolve to a situation of hopelessness and helplessness, to intervene at a much earlier point of involvement. And in a very interesting way, we are getting heavily involved in what is a nascent collective impact initiative in Deerfield Beach, which grew out of the 2 youth deaths by suicides about 15 months ago, but address a much more intrinsic community challenge. So I'm happy to learn from you all. And I'll pass it over to the beautifully named Tiffany, Tiffanie.
Thank you so much, Joel. It's a pleasure to see you again. Hi, my name is Tiffany Gray. I'm the Outreach and Training Coordinator with UHP. I'm looking forward to this co-design meeting again and meeting new faces. Joel, I hope we get to be in a group again together because I really enjoyed your conversation last time. So hi, everybody. I will pass it along to Xavier.
Hello, I'm Xavier. I am the owner and founder of Renewable. We're a community composting program here in South Florida, and we're working closely with UHP and overall at Love Our Nation, and we're trying to change the way that food waste is dealt with here in South Florida. So I'm interested in connecting with more of you guys. I know that I've met a lot of you so far. We're working with Tony as well and Areli on a cool networking opportunity that I think we're going to share with you guys later today. So
You got it down.
it's nice to meet everybody, but I'll pass it over to Tony Newell.
Thanks, Xavier. Good morning, everyone. I'm Tony Newell. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Resourcity. We're a tech startup in Miami, and I guess you could say local social community impact is our business model. We started out by creating a very highly scoped like local perks app for the city of Coral Gables and the local businesses there, and then got connected with Areli and Xavier and the broader network, and are working on what we hope is a very exciting engagement opportunity for this network and communities in general. And we'll get into that in a little bit, but essentially we're very, very happy to be working with you all. We hope to be able to engage all the stakeholders in your community and put you at the center of that. One of our mottos is incentives are better than impressions. So we're trying to create something that's going to use incentives that you guys provide to help get people to engage with your organizations and businesses. So we'll get into that in a little bit, but it's very nice to be here and nice to meet you all.
Tony, can I just ask one question? I know you're
Sure.
going to explain this, but I went onto your website and I had a little bit of trouble understanding. So is the app actually an engagement model, or what does the app actually do?
Yeah, so the site you went on is for the initial beta app that is in Coral Gables, and that was a local business support app that we built. We had about 85 businesses in Coral Gables using it, and some nonprofits. But what we're building now, and you guys will be sort of a launch infrastructure for it in the fall, is something that's much broader, and it's designed to take all the stakeholders in the community and bring them together and help them collaborate, and then use incentives primarily to get residents, citizens, visitors to engage in civic activities, community service, and local business support. I'm going to pass it on to Natalia.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Natalia Earl, and I'm the Patch Market Promotions Coordinator for the City of Dania Beach Patch. Patch, if you're not familiar, and I think most of you should be by now, is People's Access to Community Horticulture. We are located in Dania Beach on a 1.6 acre plot that's government owned. We operate a farm, farmers market, and community garden. And we're tasked with improving access to healthy, locally grown food to low income and low access communities. Our grant that we were able to receive from the USDA in 2017 has allowed us to be able to go into communities outside of Dania Beach with our mobile market. And we're currently working with a few of the partners that are on the phone right now to continue to launch that and grow that and expand that throughout Broward County. And my cohort in that endeavor is Jamie, and I'll pass it on to her, Jamie Castoro.
Hi, I'm Jamie Castoro. With the Dania Beach Patch, I serve as the manager. Natalia gave a great intro to what we do. In the last month, we've actually done a market with CEC, another partner. And I myself went out to Christway Church with other partners, Renewable and Love Our Nation, to work on some composting program, and we rescued some pineapples that we planted. So we're making connections and doing what this program is supposed to do. And I will throw it to Oval. Thank you.
Jamie.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Overil Dwyer. I'm the co-founder and now executive director of Love Our Nation. We work primarily with youth in Dania Beach, and we're now expanding with the Patch and, of course, Areli and a lot of people on this call. And just super excited to be in the company of so much knowledge. Just really excited about that and looking forward to sharing some of that with our youth in some of the programs that we're working on. I will now pass it over to Isabel, even though I don't know her.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Isabel Andrade. I joined UHP like around 2 months ago as the public health project assistant, and I have been sending the emails. I'm supporting Areli with everything she needs. And if there's anything you need, you can always email me and contact me. I'd be happy to help. I'll pass it down to Mimi.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mimi Lucero. I am a member of the Quichua Nation and I work for Florida Rising. We address systemic racism that manifests in the form of environmental injustice for Black, Indigenous, Asian, and Brown communities. And most of our areas of work involve food sovereignty and food security, energy infrastructure, toxic sites, emergency disaster response, and land rights accompanied with policy. And very excited to be here. And I'll pass it to Angelica.
Thanks, Mimi. So I'm Angelica Rosas. I'm with the Community Foundation of Broward. I am the Director of Community Impact, and I'm very excited to be here today as a funder of this particular project, and also to announce that for the mini grants, the checks are going out this week. So be on the lookout. And so now I'll pass it to, let's see, Robin.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. I'm Robin Reynolds. I'm with CEC, founder Miss Nadine, president, founder, which is Community Enhancement Corroboration, and I'm a newbie. Okay, this is my first time actually on the Zoom video participating just to educate myself, learn, and move forward with the program as well. Okay, so I'll pass it on to Miss Nadine. Okay.
I think, Robin, I think Ms. Nadine's computer or phone disconnected. We have lost her. Maybe you can check in with her. I don't know if you're on site with her, but.
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. And then in the meantime, maybe we can get Z.
Awesome. Hello,
Okay.
everybody.
Hi.
Good morning. I'm Z. I'm the founder of the Mobile School Pantry, and our mission is to provide fresh fruits and vegetables to children and families at low-income schools throughout Broward County. So pre-COVID, we used to go into schools and set up in their cafeterias with nice, beautiful tablecloths and baskets filled with fruits and vegetables, and there'd be numbers and non-perishables in there as well. And families would come at dismissal and do their shopping at no cost. We're at 10 schools in Broward. And, you know, during COVID, we switched gears. We started doing our distributions through the carpool lines of our schools, and we continued forward. And now we are coming back to in-person events out of our mobile school pantry bus, Sprout. And Sprout is exactly what it sounds like. She's a school pantry on wheels. And she has been retrofitted in 2019 to come to schools and allow families to board the bus and do their shopping in a more mobile format.
I don't know if
And we are coming we just came out with our new program that we launched last week called Fill a Bag, Feed a Family, where families in low-income communities, no matter where they live or how much they make, can access nutritious, healthy food items for themselves and their families, which will help us fundraise for our school pantry programs that is free to our families at all of our schools throughout Broward County. So we're very excited about our new model, and Sprout will not only be doing the Fill a Bag side of things in our Feed a Family program, but she'll also be allowing families to start come August to come on board the bus back to in-person events where they can come on board, and we're a client choice pantry where they have the options to choose the foods that they need and want. So we're excited to be, on board here with all of you guys, and listening to all the wonderful work that we're all doing is very inspiring. And I'm just so excited to collaborate more with each and every one of you to help with food waste and to make sure that those who need healthy food have access to it. And who hasn't gone yet?
I think we have Tiara missing and Miss Nadine, but Miss Nadine is not back yet. So
yeah.
Tiara.
I'm Tiara. I am the Community Outreach Assistant with UHP. I'm so excited for everyone to be here on the call. I'm looking forward to hearing and working more with everyone. Thank you.
All right, and before we move on, well, before I say that, thank you everybody for sharing. Just confirming, nobody has right now anything upcoming, any events to share with anybody in particular? No? Okay, cool. So then Robin, checking in with you, were you able to get a hold of Miss Nadine?
No, I haven't been able to get a hold of her.
Okay.
Somehow, either her phone or her computer.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a connection something. I do see you coming, like it looks like you are also connecting. So there's a second Robin. So I don't know, maybe that might be her on your computer at CEC or something.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. But whenever she comes in, please do let me, like, if I don't notice her, anybody else, if we see Ms. Nadine coming back, let's make some time to let her introduce herself, okay?
Sure. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so moving along, thank you again, everybody. And like I said, if there is an event or something that you would like to broadcast, for example, Z's latest Fill a Bag and Feed a Family at the Gulfstream Early Learning Center last week, I believe, was something that we shared. She submitted a form, we promoted it, we put out the flyer, and that helps out a little bit, put out some of that promotional material if you have it. So if you don't have it right now, just send it to us later on, please. And the link to the form is on the chat. And if you need it again, we can send it again later too. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen again. Perfect. And again, thank you everybody for joining today, and thank you for sharing with us a little bit more about your work. As always, we want to know more about your work so that we can better connect to the work that is happening with the South Broward Community Health Hub. Now we're going to be moving on to highlight of the South Broward Community Health Hub Blooming Solutions, or AKA mini grants. This is something that the Community Foundation of Broward was really excited about to support additional on-the-ground efforts through the network. So there's been 2 rounds of mini grants, and there is a potential for a third one later in the year. I'll be keeping everybody informed about it as I keep hearing information from the foundation. But as you heard, the round 2 mini grant checks are almost out on the way, and we are already scheduling some meetings with the round 2 mini grantees so that we can start establishing our next steps and plans for the upcoming projects. But there are some projects that already started since the beginning of the year, and they have been getting some things done. So just to start, the idea of the blooming solutions and the mini grants is really to help us pilot and test out as a network and as a collaborative all of the different ideas and options that are coming about, and then new collaborations too. So which partners had not worked together that could potentially bring the best out of each other, and things like that. So any ideas that come about through this month of potential projects, potential collaborations, like we've been in conversations already with Tim and Z about potentially doing more in-person full round wraparound services, health fairs towards the end of the year, but we would have to wait a little bit longer to figure that out. So we've always, if there are any ideas or any projects that you already have working on, don't hesitate to bring them up and let's try to figure out if they are viable through the network and if we can make them integrated in the existing blooming solutions, because that's another thing that has happened from the blooming solutions that started in the first round. Some of them are now connected in phase 2 to new projects. So the idea is, Again, we're doing the planning, the community action planning process that we're all a part of and we've been doing through this co-design, but at the same time, we're testing out different collaborations, partnerships, examples of activities and food access and health access that are happening in the different areas, and then figuring out what is going to be our best way to continue this and similar activities. So that's what we're really here to do today. And for that reason, we're going to need to hear a little bit more about these mini grants. So we have the majority of mini grant partners here today. And for those that may not be here, I'll be able to share a little bit more about their projects. But I wanted to alert everybody of the mini grant partners that we are going to start now, going slide by slide on each of the projects. So if you have anything to share about your project, this is the time that you'll be sharing. Okay. All right. So the first one, we don't have Darlene Riggs or anybody from Be the Drop today. They've been really busy, but they started the Faith, Food, and Health Access Network. And this particular network was actually established to support local faith leaders that are doing food distribution, that are doing health access efforts, or that would like to be more involved in food and health access efforts. So Be the Drop Foundation already is an organization in Miramar that is led by a previous commissioner that is really dedicated to connecting to faith-based leadership, and also to highlight what people are doing for people in the community of Miramar. So it's really about like be that drop of change, right? So people that are making change, that's what Be the Drop is all about. And they've been connected to many Miramar and South Broward churches anyways. So now they have a network of about 30 faith-based leaders and churches throughout, mostly in Miramar, but they are all over South Broward. And they have conducted 2 activities, the kickoff meeting that had 13 attendees, and then they had a hybrid. It was in person with social distancing and masks and all that, and then also online on Zoom. We celebrated the National Day of Prayers Faith Leaders Brunch, where we had about 25 attendees. There were like 15 in person and 10 virtually that learned a little bit more about what everybody else was doing. And then they also learned about organizations that are helping and supporting churches and faith-based organizations like them, pantries and food distributors, so that they could get better connected to additional resources, technical assistance, and support. And the sustainability, which is a big part of these projects too, is this because of the development and creation of the Faith, Food, and Health Access Network and this network of churches and faith-based leaders. Now this network is going to connect to a round 2 project to then continue to enhance on that support and connection. So something that started in round 1, now it's actually going to be able to continue and inform and guide the process of another grant that's coming up. Next, we do have our partners from Community Enhancement Collaboration and the Dania Beach Patch, and they are the leaders of the Fresh Success Mobile Markets. So I think Natalia, Jamie, Ms. Nadine, if we don't have Ms. Nadine yet, Robin, then I can maybe come back to her when she comes back. But I know Natalia and Jamie, you're involved in leading these efforts. So if you'd like to share a little bit more.
Yes, I know that we weren't able to really get an opportunity to have her explain exactly what community enhancement collaboration is. So I wanted to just address that real quickly as well.
Yes, please.
Yes, so they're a nonprofit grassroots organization, and Ms. Nadine has been the leader and guide for this. Their mission has always been to enhance the quality of life of the people in Washington Park and the surrounding areas. And the amount of outreach that they have is just been tremendous. They do weekly food distributions, typically Wednesdays and Fridays. They do monthly baby essential distributions, pet food distributions, annual back to school distributions, holiday food distributions, annual holiday toy distributions, weekly senior feeding programs. So they really do a lot that impacts the community. So I just wanted to just put that out there to let you know that, they serve around 10 zip codes, which serve around 300 to over 10,000 families throughout the year. Just to give you an idea of what it is that they do and why we thought it was important for us to partner with them in their efforts to be able to have more of the residents get access to some locally grown food, through our mobile market and, partnering with the Dania Beach Patch and having that understanding. We had last week our first mobile market. It was the launch of that. And we were able to reach, in terms of the attendees, it was a senior food giveaway. So for us at our mobile markets, we will typically have food that's grown locally and directly at the patch at our garden. But we'll also have things that we get from other sources. Because of the fact that it's summer, we do not have as much locally grown produce. So what we try to do is put together enough food to create what is our patch in the bag. That's something that we had started a few years ago, which allows us to be able to put together as much recipe kits that allow you to be able to feed a family of 4 or one person 4 times from one bag. So hence the name Patch in the Bag. And so with that recipe kit, we also will have our chef showcase. In this case, Jamie was able to create a really delicious meal. Jamie, it was a specific type of soup.
It was the lentil spinach soup.
The lentil spinach
Yes,
soup.
yes.
I hear her saying yes. And not only were the seniors there able to enjoy it, but also the volunteers. We would typically sell that bag, that patch in the bag, and it would have a different mix of items that we would put in there, and they are able to see it being created. And it usually will take about 20 minutes because the understanding is that not only do people not have a lot of money, so we try to price it accordingly, but they also don't have as much time because they have to, potentially go to the next job. A lot of people don't have more than 20 minutes to make a meal. And so the idea was to keep it, the time it takes to create it easy and also to have it be affordable. And so they were able to enjoy that, see that it was made fresh and that they could then do it themselves. Some people had never tried lentils. So a part of what we found that we were able to contribute in this area was not just to provide something affordable, but also to have people try foods that they might never have tried before. Because one of the challenges which we find with food giveaways is that it still generates a lot of waste, because even though people are getting food, they might not know what to do with it. And so it ends up being spoiled and then end up in the garbage. So there's a lot of waste generated that way. And for example, we were at a food giveaway that we were doing the promotion for our upcoming event. And there were two boxes of okra. And we find that a lot of people, even though, I personally would know what to do with that, not everyone knows what to do with that much okra. And so a lot of it might go to waste. So the idea is also to have that educational piece, have recipes, have samples that people can try that will then prevent that waste from ending up in the landfill. So we were able to reach quite a few of the participants, as is listed there. It says 120. And we were able to have the market attended by several of the seniors who actually took their flyer that they received earlier in our promotion campaign to us to be able to attend. And it's recognizing that, we have some improvement, some work to do for our next market, which we'll be conducting in August. That's the hope. So that's when our next upcoming session will be. And we'll be implementing some of the changes that we saw that were needed. So one of the big gaps we see is nutrition education and healthy cooking and eating education. And that's what we hope to be able to facilitate through our market at CEC and any of the other locations that are chosen for our continued partnership.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
Natalia, for that synopsis and history and update. Thank you. And this is really exciting because the cool part about the Blooming Solutions is that we're still figuring out the mix of nutrients, right? We're still figuring out what little bit of additional soil product we need to put in there, right, to be able to make it flourish. So that's really, really great, really key in these partnerships that all of the leaders that you'll be hearing from, they talk to each other, they figure out what's working for one, what's working for the other, what's working for the people, what's not. And then together we come up with solutions as we are going. So they're very iterative and we are in that process. That's what really will help us ground what we really need to continue and how we really need to continue to make those stronger. All right, next we have from St. Ruth. I know Ms. Black is here. Ms. Black, are you there? I think, well, Ms. Gloria Black is from St. Ruth. And if you want to add anything, Ms. Gloria, please jump in, but I think I can just quickly share. Oh, I think she's not there anymore. Interesting. Okay. Well, so in St. Ruth, this one has been
Hello?
oh, there you are, Miss. Okay.
I'm here, yes.
Okay, cool. So do you want to share a little bit more about St. Ruth? And I know we have had a lot of delays here, but we are working towards getting the shed done still so that we can start working on the round 2, because now there's another project that we're working with to try to continue to grow this effort, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
And right now starting on Monday, we're supposed to have a food distribution. And what we do is that we try to get rid of our boxes on that day due to the fact that right now we don't have storage. We haven't had storage in a while, but we always would distribute the boxes on the same day that we receive them. We have been receiving boxes from USDA. We have been receiving boxes from Flippany, and on the Flippany boxes are mainly for the kids, but starting on Monday, we will be distributing boxes from on a Monday. I that's why I have been back and forth, because I've been talking to Stacy on the phone from USDA, trying to get us a set time and a set day for distributing. So we will be distributing boxes at least twice a week. But right now we're trying to get a date and a time from the companies that we will be distributing them from.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, and that's actually really key information, because as you know, we are preparing to start the round 2 of phases, which is food access and community empowerment solutions with Love Our Nation and the patch. So there will be support for that effort, even though we don't have the storage up fully yet. Nova will talk more about it when we get to that slide, but this is actually something that we need to probably connect on sooner, Ms. Black, just because there can be support from youth to help with the distribution efforts and all of that already, thanks to the next phase of this opportunity. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you all for everything you do. And we're gonna get that shed up, I promise, as soon as possible.
Okay.
Okay. Next up, we have our first round 2 blooming solution, which is Resource City and Renewable. So Tony and Xavier, if you want to take it on.
Sure. Xavier, do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
I think you're probably better suited for the intro.
Okay. All right, guys. So we spoke earlier about what we do, and I'll kind of just jump in and give a little more detail. So we're working with Xavier on the business side and Aurelia on the nonprofit side, and hopefully everyone here. So what we're doing is we're building a community engagement platform that is designed to get all of the stakeholders in the community into one room and working together. We look at every community as having basically 4 types of stakeholder. You have people, the public, you have local governments, you have businesses, and you have nonprofits. Basically everyone falls into one of those 4 buckets. They don't really work that well together as well as they could in our experience. So we're trying to help them collaborate more. So I know most of the people here are with nonprofits. So I'll get to some features that will help you there. But I wanted to maybe cover 3 types of things that this platform is going to do. First thing is it's going to act like sort of a hyper local Patreon. So we're going to have any business or a nonprofit can join it. It's kind of like joining, it's a social network, sort of like Facebook or Twitter. You have your social media person taking care of it for you. You create a page, your mission's up there, what you're doing. You can put photos up there and just really let the public know what you're about. Businesses can then create, nonprofits can as well, but it's more central to businesses. They can create a subscription-based community, right? So what we want to do is take the typical burger place who does a lot of good things in the community. They're involved, they help out, they do food drives, they do beach cleanups and whatnot, and help them establish a loyal support community of people in the area that like them and want to support what they do. Kind of like content creators on Patreon. So our burger place can go on and say, hey, look, for $3 a month, you support us, support what we're doing, and you can be part of our family. And then in exchange, what you can do through this platform is offer swag, you can offer perks, deals, etc. So this is really something that came out because of COVID, because we had a lot of good businesses that were going under in our area after COVID or during COVID, because there's only one way to support the pizza shop now, and that's to go buy its pizza. But if there's a way where you're not available, you can't buy pizza, if you're a snowbird and you live up north 6 months of the year, 8 months of the year, and you really want to support the local pizza shop because you like them when you come down, now we're giving you a way to do that. So we invite nonprofits to do the same. You can have a donation portal through this app. And so, people can learn about what you're doing, what your mission is, and then support through that. They can be a pass through to your current donation portal or donation portal in the app. What's really important though, is that we're connecting all of the partners in this. So if your nonprofit is doing something and it's doing something that, let's say the pizza shop really likes and supports the mission, the pizza shop can then add perks to your nonprofit donation system. So if I go and I see, hey, I want to donate to the community foundation, and I go to donate, I'll see that there maybe are 13 or 14 local perks that are given to me that go into my wallet in the app if I donate. So if I donate, let's say $5 or more, I'll get a free appetizer from this restaurant, a free drink from here, maybe some swag from there. So we're trying to use as local incentives to get people to do the right thing. Okay. This also helps the local businesses because they get to associate with these good causes and start building, local social impact, which is what a lot of local businesses want to do, like the big people are doing, but they can't because they don't have the tools to do it. Another feature is going to be a community calendar. This actually came from the Community Foundation of Coral Gables. This was their idea. We thought it was great, so we're running with it. We want to create a calendar that everyone can post events to, or anything that's going on related to your nonprofits or your businesses. And this will be a shared calendar because, like, the Community Foundation says, hey, look, we have our calendar, the city has theirs, the Chamber of Commerce has theirs, and that's fine. If we had one we all shared, but that was the go-to for the community, or even the city can use it or a county can use it and say, hey, we're having a commission meeting or a town hall, it brings a lot more eyeballs to the calendar. So if you're having, for instance, Tim and Z, you talked about maybe doing health fair that's at a specific location later on in the year, you would put that in the calendar so that when I, as a user, go into my community calendar, I can see there's a health fair at this location, et cetera, et cetera. In addition to that, all the local businesses and nonprofits, whoever wants to, can support that event. So when I go into the calendar and I see an event, and I'll say, save the date or save it to my events, I'll also see that there are all these different perks attached to it. So if I go and I show a little barcode in my app at that event, all of a sudden I'll have a whole bunch of perks go into my wallet through the app for attending that. So this is how the collaboration, the alliances work out. And then another thing we're doing, but this will be in a second iteration, which is going to be user campaigns. So sort of like a hyper-local GoFundMe. You want to take people who are deserving in the community and help them create fundraising campaigns for good causes. This is going to be user generated, and that target people who are in the community and businesses in the community. So if you have a local high school band that needs new uniforms, or a deserving student who wants to go to the robotics competition but can't afford the equipment or the airfare in Washington, D.C. or whatever, they can start a GoFundMe campaign in our system. And then the businesses and nonprofits can go through and see and say, hey, I really like that cause. I support that. A, I either want to donate to it through the platform, or B, I want to give a perk to whoever donates to it. So now you're taking this cause and you're amplifying it by saying, hey, give them $10 and I'll give you something in exchange for supporting this good cause. So this is the kind of thing that we're working on. Spoke to Aurelia and Xavier. Xavier has been a wonderful business partner in this, and he'll explain what he's doing. But just to give you guys a heads up, I think the plan is either we do an ad hoc meeting in August just about this, or we do something, attach it to the regular September meeting. But everyone here is invited to go one-on-one. And we can do it separately offline. We can do one-on-one meetings. And any organization or business that wants to walk through this, because come August, September, we're actually going to have a staging site and a staging app that will be able to take you through it. You can learn how it's going to work. And then again, it's free to you, by the way, no one has to pay for anything. So you'll be able to hopefully leverage this and amplify your signal in your community. So it took a lot of time. I'll stop there and let Xavier come in if he wants.
I don't know if I have much to add. I'm excited to be a partner on the program, and I think that what Tony is saying is absolutely true and relevant. Like, we're gonna really rely on having as many of you guys give input and feedback on that beginning app, because we are hoping to make it as efficient and inclusive for all of the partners here. So yeah, the one-on-one conversations, if you're a for-profit business, maybe we can have breakout calls in that meeting where municipalities can talk to Tony. I can speak to the businesses, and Aurelie would be able to handle some of the nonprofit side of that, or something to that effect. But yeah, super excited to move forward with this. And I think you did a really great job of summarizing and giving people a good idea of where we're heading with that.
Great, thank you.
Thank you both so much. And I know this is a lot of information right now, but don't worry, we're gonna go into breakouts. There's gonna be an opportunity to digest a little bit more of this together. So I'm gonna keep going, and then at the end, we'll have some time for questions. So if any of the other partners have questions for the other mini grant partners and such, or if you're not one of the mini grant partners and you have a project or something that sounds that needs to be connected, please let's bring that up at the end of this. So next we have Ovro. She's going to share with us a little bit about her project with St. Ruth and the patch. And again, I forgot to include the patch logo here, but the patch logo goes right under there. And I will have it corrected before we post it up online. So the next Food Access and Community Empowerment Solutions, or Phases 2. This is in Dania Beach. And Ovro.
Thanks, Aurelie. So we're very, very excited to be able to support the patch in St. Ruth with our youth. It's initially a youth project where the youth in Dania Beach, and of course, if they are outside of Dania, we're happy to have them, will come in and they will deliver on bicycles the food from the patch. And now I've just heard about, this is very exciting, a patch in a bag. So we will definitely include the patch in a bag. So the business model is that the patch will provide food to the youth. The youth will then be in teams, and they will create a business. So it's educational, and of course it's entrepreneurial. They will deliver the foods to the community, so that's community outreach, and then they will get paid. I shouldn't say paid, they will get a stipend. The stipend will be put directly into their bank accounts, and of course they can't touch it until they're 18. And so it's a way that we can keep engagement in the community, but we can also serve especially seniors that are unable to make it to the patch or don't want to go out to the patch, or any group of people or individuals that are interested in having healthy foods, especially from the patch, and are not able to get there. We hope eventually to expand it to other aspects of community service that might be necessary, like if they needed a letter sent to the mail, sent through the post office or something like that. But initially we are starting out with the patch, and St. Ruth will be supporting us as well, as I said. And we're just really happy about this. I would love us to be able to have an app where the individual could just kind of go online and order what it is that they want, and it will be sent to one of the youth, depending on which zone they're in, because we will break the children out into zones. And then they'll be able to say, yay, they can get it, and they can get it between this time and that time, and then the youth will deliver it. So we're still working on or fine-tuning the nuts and bolts of it. But I think overall, that's generally what we'll be doing. And we're just really excited to get started. We have bicycles that have been donated. We're looking for a space to keep them. Hopefully, St. Ruth would be able to help us with that. I'll have to speak with Ms. Black and the powers that be. And we're just ready to get started. So that's it. If anyone has any questions or can support in any way, we're happy to be inclusive.
Thank you so much, Overall. And I was just going to add that since we don't have the shed up yet, there might be an opportunity for the youth to get started with supporting that excess food distribution at St. Ruth until we have the shed up. And then when the shed is up, we can kind of adjust from there.
Okay.
Okay. but right now, Ms. Black shared that they might have some excess boxes on the days of their distributions. So if we can coordinate, so when they have the excess boxes, then the youth can help deliver it to the seniors or the people in the community that can't come to St. Ruth. That would be a really good place to start with this collaboration.
Okay, okay.
Okay, all right, but we'll like I said, we will be scheduling meetings next week so that we can kind of go into more of those details of what the next steps will be. But as you see, this one is another example of a built upon blooming solution, right? So we started with something, then we identified that the storage alone is not going to be what Dania Beach needs. It needs more. There's a lot of youth that are already part of several programs that are really interested in building their capacity and learning and building their physical activity. So these exercises can help them really build those opportunities to the youth. And then we have partners like the Patch and Dania the Dania Beach Patch in St. Ruth that can also link to more community members through this effort. Awesome. And then the last one, which Miss Liana Leyva was really sorry that she couldn't join. She really was really excited to share about the project. But they are really busy right now. They have the summer break spots going on, and the South Florida Hunger Coalition is really programming a lot of them, so much so that even their VP of operations has to be on site out there helping out. So, but I'll share a little bit more about this. This is the one that I said built upon the other one, the Faith, Food, and Health Access Network led by Be the Drop. In Miramar and South Broward. Now we've partnered up also with Joseph Storehouse, which is a very affordable pantry-like store where people can come in and for a very low price of 40 cents a pound, they can purchase any item that is at that store, and all of that store food and product comes from a lot of different rescue and donation locations. And they work together with the South Florida Hunger Coalition, because the South Florida Hunger Coalition is really is leading in helping make connections for excess food, right? Wherever there is a pellet of food, the South Florida Hunger Coalition will know, and then they'll help us connect to somebody else. St. Ruth, actually, one of their food distributions was programmed in that way, where Liana had excess food somewhere, and then we connected with St. Ruth. St. Ruth had the food the next week or that same week. I think it was really, really quick. But that's what South Florida Hunger Coalition does. They support the Joseph Storehouse. Joseph Storehouse, one of the cool things about their program is because they have like their self-sustaining affordable grocery, they also have trucks, and they have refrigerated trucks. And one of the things that the Faith, Food, and Health Access Network faith-based leaders shared with us was that one of the reasons, or one of the main reasons why they have to stop their food distributions and pantries is because they don't have transportation for the food. So a lot of the times they'll get the donations, but they have to go pick them up. And if they don't have a van, if they don't have, and I mean, Ms. Gloria could probably share a little bit too about that, but sometimes if you don't have volunteers in your congregation that have large trucks, or if you're not able to go rent a U-Haul truck for the day, it becomes really cumbersome to get that food. So a lot of them have to stop their programs because they don't have a consistent fleet of people to support bringing the food to the location. So by doing this project together of growing connections and support, the idea is that Joseph Storehouse, which will have a truck that will be dedicated to the South Broward region, and
great.
And to supporting, yes, Ms. Gloria,
Yes.
and supporting all of the distribution needs in the South Broward region. It's going to start small. We probably might be able to do twice a week or something like that, deliveries. But then the idea is that once we establish those connections and there is a need and there is a way to continue them, then we'll find ways to continue them. And those are the types of the conversations that we're going to have in this in these breakouts. What are the things that these projects and similar related projects happening on right now? What are the policy systems and environmental changes that we need to help them stay, grow, and be sustainable? So think about those things. What else would we need? Obviously, for the vehicles and for transportation, we would need more than one truck, right? We would need more than 2 days. And how could we make that happen? And then I think this is last but not least, we have one of our really super exciting projects Indigenous Seed Keeping Network led by Florida Rising. And we have our wonderful partner Mimi here to share a little bit more. I have a little summary, but I know she has a couple slides to share. So take it on, Mimi.
Alrighty, let me know if you guys can see my screen. Cool. All right, so this is an intergenerational building block to restore the food pathways of the Seminole and Miccosukee nations. And with this project, we are addressing the interruption of indigenous food pathways by recognizing that the current system and shape of our food system reflects colonial values and colonial physiology. Let me move this screen away. There we go. At the moment, we're producing food that's outside the scope of our agricultural sciences, food that works outside our traditional markers of biodiversity and strategies to maintain land health. And whatever is good for the land is good for our community. So we're assessing well-being of our tribal members through those strategies as well. And here's where we come in. If you look at the population index, we represent 3% of the world's population, yet I really, really humbly think that through indigenous agricultural sciences, we can address a global food insecurity risk. And it brings us to an important component of this project. The current food system relies on vertical expansion to supply a population with a very limited diet, and therefore thrives on the destruction of land bases. We can see the effects of that as the fish and game population is on decline in the reservation borders. And we're working on drafting policy to protect the land-based area in the reservation and therefore secure these food sovereignty initiative for future generations. And basically what we're trying to do is create a cohesive response to tackle a dying colonial food system that models predict will collapse on 2050. And resemble the traditional structure of the Seminole Miccosukee families. And this is a structure that has been carried on by the shoulders of tribal members through thousands of years, and a structure that the US government invested millions of dollars to disassemble and destroy. So around the reservation, we find a lot of nitrogen-based fertilizers, and it has altered drastically the ecology of the Everglades and the surrounding territory. So for this initiative to be successful, we need to recognize the external factors that lead to ecosystem deterioration and start deepening our understanding of variants in toxicologies that affect both land and water health nearby and inside the 3 reservations we're working in. And to me, this project is not only an efficient nutrition and food security intervention, but a tool of adaptation and resilience, right? So it's a way to preserve the most intricate fabrics of Seminole and Miccosukee culture, ceremony, and therefore a true sustainable way to do intergenerational sharing of language. So the indigenous seeds that we're growing were planted on April 16th. And through this project, we recognize that the seeds that we work with have genetic adaptability and can thrive in areas where GMO seeds could never dream of growing. They protect water consumption and don't work against the ecology of the land, which is one of the most important components to me. And part of that colonial interruption meant that teachings on traditional indigenous agricultural sciences is skipped a couple of generations. So the families that were interviewing in the reservation, both in Boynton, Hollywood, and Big Cypress, have these stories of farming inside their families, but the practice of farming, hasn't been active for 2 generations. So at this point, we're at the recruiting stage where we're interacting with families and conducting surveys on major areas of interest and gaining an understanding of the size of a garden a family needs based on members per household, whether there's elders, pregnant and breastfeeding people needs, if there's community members with expertise in the areas of hunting and fishing. To become of the training crew, we are interested in building a traditional cookbook to start weaving an ancestral food thought into everyday lifestyle. And we're partnering with various tribal departments that work on climate and cultural preservation to start online and in-person meetings. Part of these next steps is to create an elder council to draft the biopiracy agreement and guide the structure of the project as we start training families in the 3 reservations on agricultural sciences. And that is a little picture of the big, we call it in our language chakra. It's not a field, it's a life-giving, breathing, thinking agricultural space for us. And these are the seeds that we've planted: Seminole squash, purple hominy corn, blue Incan corn, Suzuki Pueblo melons, and Cherokee melons. And these are some of our next steps. And yeah, if there's any question, I love to answer.
Thank you, Mimi, so much. And actually, this is the right time. So if anybody else has any questions for any of the mini grants, please go ahead and ask right now. We're going to take a couple minutes for those questions, and then we'll move on to breaking into groups. Any questions? All right, I'm sure they'll come up when we break into the groups because we'll have a little bit more. So as you'll see, oh, I thought I was sharing my screen, my apologies. So let me move on over here. Okay, so as you see, all of this now mini grants or blooming solutions kind of fit within the structure that we're putting together as part of the South Broward Community Health Hub. There are projects that are more related to the faith-based and charitable distribution, like the Faith, Food, and Health Access Network and the Growing Connections and Support projects. We have more that are dealing with the land, retail, urban agriculture, nutrition, health aspects like fresh mobile markets, the Indigenous Seed Keeping Network. And then we also have some that have to do with like retail development of the land and different aspects too that are like the food access and community empowerment solutions. And then Eco Connections, which is more about the network itself. So that's why it's a little bit more integrated with the network, with the South Broward Community Health Hub. These blooming solutions also are located in a physical space, right? A lot of them are in a physical or virtual space, actually, because Eco Connections is really a virtual space, but that will deal with physical locations. So far, as I had mentioned earlier, there's these 4 developing quadrants that we're calling Community Health Action Zones, or CHAZ. And as you'll see, the Indigenous Seed Keeping Network is definitely very localized to that Seminole Land area in Hollywood. The Food Access and Community Empowerment Solutions phases 1 and 2 is very localized within the Dania Beach area. The Growing Connections and Support is right now to start very localized in Miramar, but definitely will move throughout the South Broward region. But just to start, the Fresh Success Mobile Market is in where the pantry, where CEC is kind of in a point where several cities intersect in a way. So there's actually West Park, a little bit of Miramar, a little bit more west, and then there's also Hollywood on the northeast. So it's a little bit of in the middle. That's why the Fresh Success markets are in the middle. And the Faith, Food, and Health Access Network, again, is something that started in Miramar, but now it's extending throughout the rest of Southeast Broward. For the breakouts today, we will be breaking up based on the physical space and the different CHAZ sites that we have. But before we move into the CHAZ, I wanted to kind of go over some of the breakout instructions and then watch a short video for our information. So when prompted, I'm going to ask you to select your location, right? You'll see Miramar, Hollywood, Dania Beach, and Hallandale, and you can select where you'd like to go. The partners from the mini grants will be at those locations that I shared with you before. And then after that, each of the groups will have a note taker from the UHP team. And you just have to identify somebody that can report and a 1 or 2 sentence really quickly after the breakouts, and then just engage in the discussion. The note takers will be showcasing a Jamboard that I will show you shortly, where we'll be taking notes, and we will also share the Jamboard link with you all so that you can also participate. So you can participate on the breakouts both verbally and or on the virtual space on the Jamboard. So for those of you that are like want to talk, you can participate through participating in the breakout through talking and conversation, and others you can answer the questions on the Jamboard if you feel like it. And then at the end, there's going to be a question that's going to be very specific about one policy, one system, and one environmental change. We want to hear what you think would be the next low-hanging fruit on these areas. This is going to be the last thing that we do too. So we're going to take all of the rest of the meeting really focusing on this. We'll just come back at the end to say goodbye and save the date, basically. But before we go there, I want to show you what are policy systems and environmental changes. So let me stop sharing this screen really quickly. Any thoughts, questions, concerns so far? All right. So let me go into the little video and share it with you all. Okay. Can you still see it? Can you see the video? Okay, perfect. And let's see if you can hear it.
Now let's restate what the PS&E and
Can you hear
PSE
it?
change are and dive into each of them individually. A policy is a written statement of a position, decision, or action. It could be in the form of laws, regulations, and the adoption of guidelines. According to Ross Brownson and his fellow researchers, in a review of the 10 great public health achievements of the 20th century, each of them was influenced by policy changes, such as seatbelt laws, or regulations governing permissible workplace exposures. Systems, put simply, are procedures and protocols. An environmental refers to changes in the built or social environment. Now, the built environment is the man-made environment that people interact with. Some built environments that come to mind may include parks, streets, and buildings. Strategies focused on changes to these environments to impact a goal are known as built environment changes. In contrast, the social environment is based on the context of a community, which is made up of the culture, social tendencies, and institutional systems that are within the setting. What individuals have been taught, and many of their beliefs and ways of interacting between themselves and with institutions are influenced by the social environment. An aim of the Live Healthy Community Partnerships is their attempt to make the healthy choice the easy choice. This is an abbreviated version of what Frieden stated as PSE strategies being an economical and sustainable approach to making healthful choices the convenient and most frequently selected choices.
All right. And then close that. Grab the Jamboard. Okay. All right, so now let me just showcase really quickly the questions that you'll be looking at today. And as you are looking at them, I'm going to start opening up the breakout rooms and you'll be able to select where you want to go. I've opened all the rooms, and then as I will put in the chat right now the link to the Jamboard as well, in case you want to copy it and take it with you. And then just select where you're going to go. I still have most people on the main room, so please select your rooms to go to.
Really? Are you taking Hallandale? Am I taking Miramar?
Go to Hallandale for now. If we need to switch, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay? Cool, cool.
Where do I select the rooms?
It should come up on the top breakout. It should say, it should have started like a little 4 square somewhere on your screen for
No,
selection of breakout.
I don't see it either.
Maybe you're, oh, so I'm gonna have to assign you. Okay, so Tiara, you were Dania Beach, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we need, not, okay. So I'm gonna move you to Dania Beach then. Okay. And then Xavier.
You might have to tap your screen if you're on mobile, and then it'll pop up.
Okay. All right, and then Isabel, I'm gonna send you to Hallandale. Tony, I'm sorry, Xavier, I'm gonna send you with Tony and Hallandale, okay? Oh. I'm gonna make it to Dania. And I'm gonna send you to Hollywood. So Isabel, it looks like we're just, so Miss Gloria and Robin, I sent you an invitation for specific ones if you'd like to say accept it. And then we're gonna go to only 2. So I'm gonna move Tony.
So you're going with me?
Yeah, I'm gonna, you go, let's go to Hollywood.
Okay,
Let's
yeah.
go to Hollywood, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miss Black, are you there?
Did everyone come back over? I feel like not everyone is back. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There she is.
I added the city budget to support maintain composting sites. We also need like more land use policies supporting urban agriculture. All right, everybody. Hello again, and thanks for coming back. I know that we were seeing a little bit of what each of the groups was doing as we were putting information on this Jamboard. So thank you all for participating. We have a few minutes. I just wanted to kind of bring attention to the last slide here, where we are discussing some potential policy system and environmental change solutions for this. And so actually I was going to add here more food storage in the communities. All right. So as you'll see, we have some policies like including composting site support in the budgets for the city, having the government play a role in backing the support of markets and faith-based services, having more land use policies, supporting urban agriculture, having policies in support of the patch, specifically in the city of Dania Beach. There is a mayor's pledge that has been before the mayor's office and city of Dania Beach for a minute. So these are some of the things that are still missing in terms of policies, and there might be more. So if you have other ideas, please keep populating this as we wrap up. In terms of systems, the memorandums of understandings and letters of agreement, so more formalization of partnerships amongst us, amongst the different partners, creating procedures and protocols. So part of the community action plan process may end up including that we have to have a formal agreement between all of the South Broward Community Health Hub partners. So that might be another system goal that we can have together. And then environmental changes. Here in Hollywood, something came up to require that there are more markets in the local area. So maybe having a resolution. So this could become a resolution from the city that could establish a purpose to say we want to have ongoing farmers markets in the city of Hollywood that serve these and such areas. So that could be also a policy. So it could be an environmental and a policy. And then more food storage in the communities as well. So if we're building more storage facilities, that's going to be environmental change, but then there's also policy and potentially systems attached to that. So a lot of the times we'll see that we have a policy, a system, or an environmental change, but then there's other pieces of the sustainability attached to it. So thank you so much for participating again, and please keep putting some information there if you have more things to share. And I will just quickly wrap up so we can get on with our day. Thank you so much for spending your morning and early afternoon with us. I just have a couple more slides, and that will be it. If I can find where I can share my screen again, because I lost it. There we go, share screen. All right, so we already did that. Anybody wanted to share a couple thoughts aside of what I shared on the policy systems and environmental changes at the end? Anything else that came up?
One thing that came up towards the end was that the government is, from what someone mentioned, really willing to help, and they're easily accessible in the Hollywood area. However, it's also challenging to get them to back up small businesses and creating local grounds for farming and things of that nature. Because if it's not bringing a big buck, then it's kind of like overlooked. So they're willing to talk to you, but are they really willing to help?
Okay. Anything else? All right. So I'm going to have one more poll and then we'll save the date and we'll be done. So let me just share the poll. We're gonna go to poll 2 and launch. All right. So for those of you that are still here, if you could please just look at your screen and answer the questions. There is 4 for this one. Oh no, sorry, 5. I lie. And again, don't forget to put submit at the end, please. All right, please take a few seconds and then we'll wrap up. Thank you so much again for spending your morning and early afternoon with us. Go ahead and keep answering those questions, please. And we'll give it another minute. But if you
Sign
have,
off, guys. Everyone take care.
Thank you, Tony. Take care. We'll talk later.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
There's a question that says, please select all that apply. That only allows me to select one. So just letting you know, that's question 4.
My apologies.
I don't know if anyone else has that issue, but I did, so yeah.
It's not a multiple choice.
No.
No, okay. Thank you for letting me know. I'll make
Yeah,
note.
so just in case you see different, yeah, okay.
We have to, so maybe we have to say, please select the most, the one that you prefer the most or something. Yeah, true. Thank you for that. All right, and I'm gonna give it 20 more seconds and close it out and then we'll wrap it up. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
No, thank you all. I'm really looking forward to taking a quick break and then giving some time for people to take a break, to not really think about the co-design. We will be looking at all the data and starting to put together the initial draft for the community action plan, so that then when we meet again, there's something for us to see and review, and hopefully we can bring a lot more people through that time, so that we can have people that maybe did not participate in the co-design in the beginning. Now they can start participating, now that we will have a template or something for them to really kind of ground on. Because I know for some people, and this I've noticed, like for some partners, it's really, they really are great in the co-design process because they like to participate in that initial, I don't know what's happening, but let's participate type of engagement. But then there's others that type of engagement is still too nebulous. And so they need to wait until we have a little bit more of the structure. And then once we have a little bit more of the structure, it becomes easier for some of them to participate. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm gonna end the poll now. Thank you all for participating.
Thanks for having us.
And have a great day, and we will be in touch. Save the date for September 30th. That will be the next one at the same time, 11 a.m.
September, not August.
September 30th, correct. It's a Thursday.
Thank you.
I think I have the date here. Yeah, there we go. There you go. And thank you again for joining us. Take care, and we will be in touch.
All righty, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Miss Robin and Miss Gloria, I think they're not on the phone anymore. They stepped away because I haven't seen them active in a minute.
I'm still here. Robin is still here.
There you are, Miss Robin. Okay. All right.
I'm here.
Perfect. And Ms. Nadine, thank you so much. And thank you, Ms. Gloria. And thank you for joining us. We will be in touch with you. I have to call Bishop Scott actually. So Ms. Black, I don't know if he has time today. If so, let me know what would be a good time to give him a call, okay?
Okay, and Ariella, I'm trying to make sure that I get the right time for the distribution on Monday.
Perfect.
So as soon as I get that, I will shoot you an email or a text just to let you know that we will be doing it on Monday.
Miss Gloria? Hello, Miss Gloria?
Miss Orville has a question for you.
Is she gone?
No, I think she's still there.
Okay, I just wanted to find out what. Miss Gloria?
I'm sorry, yes.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Doing well, thank you. Miss Gloria, do you have any idea of the weight and the size of the boxes?
No, because this is going to be, okay, I know that usually they're anywhere, they're heavy. They're heavy because sometimes they have milk, they have produce, they have meat, they have what else do they have in them?
Is it for 7 days?
No, this is like the family boxes. This is not the children boxes. The children boxes are the ones that come the 7 days.
Okay, and so the family boxes are given out once a week?
No, we're probably going to be doing it twice a week, but we're just getting started Monday. And
Yeah.
I know Monday will be a delivery date. And then I think I think it's going to be once a week, and then 1 week we'll have twice a week.
Okay.
I'm back and forth on the phone with Daniela and with Stacy from USDA.
So if it's not too much trouble, it would be really helpful to us if we can have the rough estimate of what the weight is and the dimensions, if at all possible, because then that'll allow us to kind of see if it's feasible for our children to help with the delivery.
Wait, I may be able to tell you because I have paperwork from previous deliveries from those companies.
Because if overall, if the boxes are too big for regular bags, then we do need to start we should consider potentially finding a sponsor or utilizing a little bit of the budget for a couple carts or wagons to attach to bikes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sorelli.
Yep. Because we can do that. And maybe maybe those would be the deliveries that the bigger kids can do.
Right,
so,
right.
So we would ask that they consider when we find out the cost that it be considered to be another grant, or how does that work?
No, we'll see if we can find a sponsor, somebody that can donate them, or because I think we can start with 1 or 2 only.
Okay, sure.
And then if we don't find a sponsor, maybe we can utilize, like, I don't know, I think if we had some giveaways or something that maybe instead gets repurposed.
Yeah. So Aurelie, I wanted to ask you if we could have a word, because I think that we could really get this started, but I'm not really sure who I should be talking to. Is it just Miss Gloria that
Well, we should all before we get started, we have to go back to the proposal and then outline from the proposal. So what I had mentioned yesterday is during our prep meeting is Isabel and I will be contacting you all early next week to schedule a initial planning meeting. As you heard, the checks haven't even gone out yet, so they'll go out tomorrow supposedly, or today. And so then early next week, we'll be able to start outlining the next steps and with all the partners involved. That way it'll be the patch, you and Miss Gloria or Bishop Scott or both of them. And then we'll go back to the proposal and outline our next steps. That way we are all on the same page and can get started sooner rather than later. So I'll prioritize meeting with you all next week early, okay?
Oh, that'll be perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to start rounding up the youth because that's always an issue.
Yeah.
And if we could, and then by next week, we'll know what the tentative start date is, right?
Yep. We'll meet next week. So Miss Gloria and Miss and Overall, actually, if you two have a date preference or a date that Bishop Scott and you, Miss Gloria, are available, that we could chat with Overall, that would be ideal.
Okay. He was just calling me as we were speaking, but Miss Overall, I think the boxes sometime are like 20-pound boxes. You know, I'm not for sure, but on Monday I'll definitely know. Or when Daniela call me back, I will ask her to give me an estimate weight of how heavy the boxes are.
So it's not only the weight, but it's also the
dimensions.
Okay.
So that would be perfect, Miss Gloria.
Okay. And as soon as I get back with her, I'll definitely give you all a call.
Okay. And Miss Gloria, you have a list of the people that would need it?
Well, you know, now usually what we do is we have the drive-through.
Right. Oh, so you drive through and knock on the door? Okay, you and I can talk about that off the air so Areli can go. Can I?
Yeah,
Gloria?
we'll have no, we can have actually like a meeting, like I said, because I think what we need to be clear on, there's some things the youth is gonna have to help us identify who needs the food.
Well, that's why I was asking Miss Gloria, because it's because it's St. Ruth. I thought that they already had like a list of seniors that may be shut in, and we
Okay.
could take those, that type of thing. So maybe at the meeting we can identify those.
Yeah, we do have people that we actually deliver to.
Right.
So, but you know, I can give you that list.
Right. And so
but
that
but first we need to find out the dementia and the weight of the boxes.
Correct.
And until you all get the proper wagons or whatever to deliver them to, we will have people here who we can actually ask to drive them there until, you know, until we get up and running.
Okay. So that's
Okay.
good to know. So everyone will be able to get what they need until we. Okay, gotcha. Perfect.
Yeah, right. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Gloria. And then
Because most of the time I drive them. I just take them where I know that the people are unable to get here.
yeah, and overall, and Ms. Gloria, you two will probably be the best contacts for each other, because once we get the ball rolling, it can be like, hey, Ms. Gloria, are you gonna need the youth today or no? Or like, you know, you could be in touch in that way. And then the idea too is once we have the storage facility, we can then start utilizing the storage space in a different way. And one last thing too, Ms. Gloria, if you are going to be talking to Bishop Scott, I do need to speak to him. I tried yesterday, but then the time flew, and he only told me he was available at 2 p.m. And then by the time I noticed, it was 4 p.m. So I wasn't able to call him, but I'll try calling him today if there is a time that you tell me he's going to be available.
Okay, I'll call you back, or I'll text you the time.
Perfect.
As soon as I speak with him.
Perfect. Because then there's also what Overall had mentioned. We are trying to look for a temporary location to store some bikes to get started. And then obviously we will try to figure out a more permanent, but if there is anywhere at the church that maybe we could store them temporarily, that's kind of the part of what I would like to chat with you both and see if there's an opportunity.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
Okay.
So we'll all talk later. Thank you everybody again. Ms. Robin, we'll be chatting with you too soon so we can continue planning for that next Fresh Success Market with over at CEC. And so thank you again for joining us, and we will be in touch soon.
Sure, fantastic. And I also did forward you a message of our upcoming event. Okay.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
again.
We'll post that up. Perfect.
You got it. Bye-bye.
Okay. Take care, everybody. Take care.
Thank you. Bye, Areli.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.